During the Industrial Revolution 4.0, the traditional thinking of personnel management has changed. Businesses have realized the importance of personnel issues and started to invest a large amount of capital in human resource instead of considering it a cost to be minimized as before. However, recruiting talents and building a system to train, develop, and retain them has been a tough task amidst a fierce competition and the thirst for talents from businesses. We'll now delve into this issue with our special guest here on Talk Vietnam. But first, let's find out who he is.
I'm Dr. Alok Bharadwaj, a former Senior Vice President at Canon Singapore and Head of Canon Asia Strategy Center. There, I had great opportunity to grow and transform business in 23 Asian countries. I also worked as Head of Canon Asia Learning and Development Division that assisted 6,500 Canon staff members in their quest for learning and getting better at workplace. In my 32 years of corporate career, I have worked in several Fortune 500 companies such as Tata Group, Motorola, and Canon. I can definitely say that in all those years of leadership experience, I encountered numerous challenges and solved several high-stake business problems. However, there is absolutely nothing more complex than people and HR-related challenges. Solving these actually turn people into real high-performing talent and organizations into real high-performing enterprises.
So thank you, Dr. Bharadwaj, for coming to our studio today. How are you?
I'm quite well, thank you, and I'm delighted to be here.
Sure. Our first question is talking about modern HR. How has HR been changing its role and transforming worldwide?
You see, when you look at HR, you notice during the last 100 years, the purpose of HR has been transforming. According to me, there have been 4 eras of HR. The first era, which was many years ago, that is the time when the world was basically in the industrial era 1.0. And that's the time when the biggest concern was payroll, was labor relations, administration. But things transformed and we came to era 2.0. This is the era when the focus of HR became recruitment and training. And then we entered into era 3.0. And this era of HR changed the HR function quite drastically. It made HR begin to focus on performance management. But today, we live in talent 4.0 era. This is an interesting era. This is the era where we are redefining HR purpose and calling it as basically building talent.
So that's how HR evolved into the modern day concept. So talking about modern HR, what are its elements?
So now, if you now decode what is happening in so-called talent era 4.0, you will notice that a very important part that we require now is a journey of employee throughout several elements within the organization that helps attracting talent, developing talent, retaining talent, and making them perform. According to me, the journey begins from the stage of assessing talent needs. Organizations now need to be very clear about what kind of talent are they looking for. And this planning has to be done much in advance. You don't just start looking for talent when you have a vacancy. You plan it far ahead. The second element in the modern HR system is what is called acquiring talent. Now we have to acquire talent. Now this acquisition of talent will not happen unless we are able to attract talent and unless we are able to identify the right profile of talent. The third element in modern HR is what is called aligning talent. Now that the talent has been selected and talent joins the company, we got to align the talent with the goals, the KPI, the cultural alignment. There are several areas of alignment to make the talent really performing talent. So you got to align. The fourth element in the modern HR is the element of learning and development. We got to train talent. The fifth element in modern HR is where we are now engaging talent. When we are engaging with talent, we are getting the work out of talent. That's how good companies, or what are called now the Talent 4.0 companies, are able to really make a very powerful system within the company where talent is highly energized, very actively involved in the purpose of an organization.
Chúng tôi thường xuyên gặp những vấn đề về việc là những nhân sự tốt có thể sang một công ty nước ngoài làm ở Việt Nam thôi với mức lương có thể cao hơn gấp đôi rồi, để cạnh tranh việc lương và giữ chân nhân sự rất là khó khăn, và phát triển nhân tài, đào tạo họ trong hệ thống như thế nào để họ có thể đáp ứng được các cái quy mô, các cái yêu cầu trong công việc của công ty.
Thứ nhất là về chất lượng nhân sự, thứ hai nữa là về cái đầu vào nhân sự đang chưa, cái phần thương hiệu tuyển dụng nó chưa có mạnh để tuyển dụng được những cái nhân sự phù hợp vào làm cùng. Và thứ ba nữa là với cái đội ngũ nhân sự hiện tại thì mọi người đang chưa có một cái văn hóa chung để cùng nhau hướng về mục tiêu chung để làm việc, cho nên là cái hiệu suất lao động nó cũng chưa được như là cái mong muốn của mình.
Vì chú trọng cho cái việc sản xuất chuyên môn, do đó thì chúng tôi không chú trọng về việc là đầu tư vào vấn đề con người, đào tạo, thì dẫn đến khi mà quy mô càng có tăng thì cái việc là mất kiểm soát về hệ thống quy trình, kiểm soát về cái yếu tố về con người, thì khi có những cái đòi hỏi từ phía khách hàng, những khách hàng tiềm năng, những cái sản phẩm nó mang tính chất gọi là chất lượng cao và tính ổn định cao, thì cái việc đáp ứng và thỏa mãn của chúng tôi nó trở nên là khó hơn bao giờ hết.
So based on the elements that you have just mentioned, what strategies should Vietnamese businesses adopt?
The whole story of attracting, building, developing, retaining, and progressing talent actually begins with talent mindset. You see, there are 4 kinds of companies that exist in the world. But the first kind of companies that exist in the world have very high customer-centric mindset. You can see Apple, Disney. These are good examples of customer centricity. It's a good mindset to have. There are second kinds of companies which are very, very highly strategy driven, new business model driven. Look at what is happening to Grab. Look at what happened to Airbnb. Various new business models that companies have begun to launch have built those companies. They're very much centric on so-called new strategies or new business models. But then you've got third kind of companies, and these companies are very operational driven. They build very strong competency and capabilities and actually competitive advantage based on the process and operations. And therefore they create their cost of production low. They are the ones who are very fast in terms of their customer response. They have processes. McDonald's is a very good example. Very set process. In fact, they even measure from the time of your order when you are getting the burger and exactly how many minutes did it take. They are very strong process-driven companies. But there are fourth kind of companies, where not many in the world, which are highly talent-driven companies. These companies are called talent mindset. The story begins with the mindset. When you have a mindset for talent, you begin to see everything else as an outcome and not basically an enabler. In other words, when you say that you want to make your company highly customer focused, it is an outcome because of good people that you have. So basic core competitive advantage is shifting to talent. That's the reason why McKinsey actually had done a study 20 years ago and called it as a war for talent. They said in this world now, actually companies are competing with companies not on the product, not for the customers, for the talent.
To have a realistic view about the current situation of Vietnamese small and medium enterprises in terms of HR, Dr. Alok Baradas spent time visiting many companies.
How long you are working in the company?
6 years.
6 years.
This company really impressed him as it has a strong recruitment system.
So I'm very impressed with this recipe of your.
Mình lựa chọn những người mà mình thấy là có khả năng và có sự tin tưởng mình đối với họ, và khi mà mình sẽ đặt họ vào những vị trí phù hợp, mình thấy rất phù hợp, sau đấy mình sẽ cho họ có những cái hướng dẫn cho họ để họ làm việc trong một thời gian nhất định nào đấy, và sau đó mình sẽ giao quyền cho họ, họ sẽ tự quyết định.
The mindset for talent in keeping and building talent as the main driver for success of a company is the first most critical success factor for companies like this.
Thinking of growing company, they have very strong employee value proposition. Everybody knows why they're working here, and everybody is finding that as their core reason of continuing in this company. Without this, we cannot build HR system. So this is one very important thing that I noticed. I also noticed in this company, the belief was not to do helicopter landing. They were not wanting to bring people from outside at different positions. They were trying to build talent internally. This is a very strong practice in successful companies, what I call talent powerhouses.
We'll go back a little bit into the global trends of human resource management. As an industry insider who has been watching the market for years, so what are the notable trends of human resource management in the world so far?
Now organizations are realizing that the purpose of HR, which I explained in the beginning in creating talent in the organization, has even a bigger purpose. And the purpose is business results. I in fact advise many of the company leaders here saying that if you are talking about your talent strategy, don't start from your problems. You start from your goal, from your vision. What's your vision 3 years from now? Tell me about your core values of the company. Tell me about your goal of next year.
Yes.
And now you tell me what are the new capabilities you require for that goal.
Mm-hmm.
Some companies tell me that they're changing their business model, they're getting more digital, they're going to enter into e-commerce, or they're going to use more social media for their marketing. Figure out what are the new capabilities you need in your organization. Now you're ready to build your talent strategy. Now you know exactly what are your critical roles. You know exactly what are the capabilities you got to build in. You even know whether those capabilities requirement are average or very high level. Mm-hmm. Let me give you an interesting example. So I was talking in a dinner meeting with business leaders here in Hanoi. I asked them, I said, how is the human resource working? None of them give me data. People don't know that HR needs to be measured. Whether it is your rate of recruitment, rate of people leaving, why leaving, competency level improvement in people. Even globally, many companies are struggling. But this is a theme. This is the new thought doing rounds in HR. How do we measure HR? Most of the people want to continue to work or are retained because of what is called 6 senses. The first sense is called the sense of recognition. This is the appreciation every single individual needs. If the manager or a leader is not able to provide appreciation of good work whenever it is done, that sense is lost. The second is called actually the sense of respect. Many times in organizations I notice people feel that they are not respected. These 2 senses are the basic senses of engagement. Thereafter comes the third sense, and this is called the third sense of meaning, purpose, what work they're doing. The fourth sense is called the sense of impact. I want to do a work which is creating bigger impact, so the importance. The fifth sense is a sense of progress. or growth. And the last sense is called the sense of achievement. Engagement is nothing but satisfaction plus motivation. And therefore, if you are able to satisfy people and motivate people, your engagement becomes very strong. And when we do this way, this is the best recipe for retaining people. If all your people are having good engagement with their people within the company, you will find your retention becoming 2 or 3 times more.
At the conference today, Dr. Alok Bharadwaj shared experience on how to build a modern HR recruitment system. To recruit the right people, first, the company needs to identify what it needs from employees.
So there are 3 things that we need in people. I call them 3P. If you have 3P, that is what you see in every people. The first thing you see is a personality. Personality is important because without personality, you will not have a connection and the fitment will not happen. Fitment with the job and fitment with the company. Second important thing you need in people is performance. We need to check how they perform. And the third important thing we need in people is a potential.
With experience in interviewing thousands of candidates in his leadership career, Dr. Alok Bharadwaj has his own way to understand those candidates.
Cái chi tiết mà tôi cảm thấy thú vị đó là cái phần mà khi mà phỏng vấn một nhân sự ứng viên ấy, thì mình cần phải tìm hiểu những cái phần về tính cách, những cái động lực, những cái mối quan tâm của họ, những cái giá trị và những cái niềm tin của họ, đó là cái phần chìm của tảng băng. Và những cái thứ mà thường là các nhà tuyển dụng hay phỏng vấn thì họ quan tâm về những cái thứ kinh nghiệm, những cái thứ mà người ta nhìn thấy bề nổi bên ngoài thôi, nhưng cần phải đặt những cái câu hỏi mở để mình có thể tìm hiểu được cái tầng sâu bên trong, bởi vì đó là những cái thứ mà sẽ quyết định là cái việc nhân sự có phù hợp với doanh nghiệp hay không.
After successfully recruiting the right talents, every organization pays attention to how to develop and retain them. Dr. Alok Bharadwaj came up with the best recipe to do this.
Một trong cái điều mà tôi thấy rất là thú vị là tiến sĩ Alok đã đưa ra là có 5 cái nguyên nhân để cho nhân tài hoặc là nhân sự đến với công ty hoặc rời công ty. Thì đấy là tôi đều rất thích. Ví dụ đầu tiên là phải có một cái thương hiệu, cái niềm tự hào thương hiệu của doanh nghiệp. Cái thứ hai là cái cơ hội học tập, cái sự nghiệp của họ ở trong công ty. Và thứ ba là cái nhân sự đấy, cái nhân tài đấy họ phải tìm được những cái vai trò của họ, ý nghĩa của họ trong công việc. Thứ tư là có cái văn hóa của doanh nghiệp. Và cái yếu tố thứ 5 thường là cái yếu tố cuối cùng. Nhưng mà ở Việt Nam mình thường là mọi người nghĩ ra đầu tiên đấy là vấn đề là cái thù lao, cái liên quan đến cái thu nhập.
As we have discussed, attraction and recruitment are the first big HR issues in many Vietnamese enterprises. So what are some ways of solving it?
If you want to attract talent, not just pick up and do shopping. Attract talent will not join you unless talent is very clear what are the great things in your company. So first thing that I recommend to all companies is to create a job page or a career page website where they would be showcasing great examples of what their people are doing, how people are having fun in this company, how they are enjoying. And it is talking about the employee value proposition very smartly. It is showing examples of people and their career growth. The second thing that they must do in attracting talent is to do some bit of employer brand. If you spend nothing, how would people know about your brand? Particularly for a small and medium company. Build brand. Spend 1%, 2%, at least on your employee brand. This is one area that I would recommend to do attraction. Large companies around the world, global companies, do enormous employer branding. The second step that you require is the step of identifying the right profile that you need. Don't say, I need 7 years experience, I need knowledge of retail selling, and I need somebody who is a very strong salesperson, for example, who has achieved 100% in the last 1 year or 2 years. These are EKS. Also explain what the iceberg do you need? What values do you need in people? What kind of mindset do you need in people? What kind of behaviors your company appreciates?